and I'll say Parker. I want to fight Parker definitely, and hopefully Turkey might hear this and make it happen in England, make it happen in Wembley or something.
Josie Parker will come in at a career heaviest, and he's put that weight, and I think one to absorb and to be able to wrestle that young lion in.
Daniel Dubois challenges Joseph Parker after being knocked out by Usyk, and the irony is hard to miss. How can you get taken apart, outboxed, and still claim you're on another level? Fans aren't convinced. Parker isn't the right target when your self-belief is clearly shaken.
No, I'm just ready to fight now. It's just, let's get it on. Let's get it on now. I want to entertain the people. I want to entertain the...
Joseph Parker remains composed and tactical. While Dubois speaks of levels, Parker focuses on fundamentals. Hit and avoid getting hit. That's not about talk, it's about skill. Parker's durability has been tested by much tougher opponents. If Dubois plans to enter the ring with him, he'll need more than just talk.
I've showed it in the past and I'll show it again. But it's not so much about taking these punches, it's about going out there and performing and hitting and not getting it. That's an...
Joseph Parker responds with calm precision, controlled, sharp, and fully focused. No need for trash talk, just clear purpose. While Dubois seeks attention, Parker is quietly preparing to dominate in the ring. This isn't just a reply, it's a serious statement. And if Dubois expected an easy path to redemption, he's underestimated the opponent in front of him.
Or you know that you're going to get a well-prepared fighter who's the champion of the world and he wants to remain champion of the world. But my goal is to take that away from him and be champion myself.
When Daniel Dubois talks about unfinished business after being outclassed by Usyk at Wembley, it sounds more like wishful thinking. The reality is, Parker holds the edge in experience, durability, and ring intelligence. Calling for big fights doesn't mean you've earned them. Fans are looking for results, not just talk.
Johnny Nelson, we're about to put out an R&B album, so don't you worry.
I'm your backing dancer. I'm your backing dancer, man.
Now, you might not believe we're in Saudi Arabia because we're both wearing our hoodies.
Johnny Nelson puts it plainly. Parker is the more skilled fighter, and that's what sets champions apart from contenders. While Dubois leans on raw power, Parker brings depth, timing, composure, and control. Nelson's view reflects what true boxing fans already recognize. Parker doesn't need size to stand out. His technique speaks for itself.
In Daniel Dubois, and not to fight fire with fire. I think the better technical boxer is Josie Parker.
Andy Lee didn't hold back, and for good reason. Dubois is being exposed for what he truly is, a lesser version of today's top heavyweights. He's not quicker than Wilder, not more powerful than Joyce, and not more technical than the southpaws Parker's already faced. So what exactly is he offering? Another excuse? Another moment of denial after being dropped? Lee lays it out clearly. Parker has already battled elite opponents. Dubois, meanwhile, is still finding his footing. That muscular frame didn't help against Usyk, and it won't matter when Parker starts landing with precision. For Parker, this isn't a challenge, it's a step backward. But if Dubois insists, Joe will gladly show him that levels are proven in the ring, not declared in interviews.
Speak of Dubois, he's not bigger than Zhang. He's not as fast as Wilder. So Joe's faced all these things that Dubois has, but not to the same extent.
Just when it seemed like Andy Lee was finished criticizing Dubois, he went even deeper, questioning his mindset. Lee hit with straight facts. Whether Dubois is fully focused or distracted chasing social media redemption, the Parker team remains confident. And it's easy to see why. Dubois already withdrew once when pressure mounted, then was easily handled by Usyk. Dropped to the canvas like a prayer left unanswered. He's now playing the unfinished business card. If his focus wavers again, Parker will end it quickly. And if he's truly locked in, then we witness Parker dismantle the best version of Dubois, leaving no room for excuses. Lee isn't preparing for a test. He's preparing for a statement performance. Dubois may want to put on a show, but if this fight happens, it could turn into a one-sided display. And yes, fans will be entertained by watching Parker send Dubois straight back to square one.
He'll be focused on Joe. I hope he's focused on Joe. I hope he is, because I know Joe can win either way. Even if he is or isn't overlooking him, I know Joe can beat Dubois.
Even Eddie Hearn, known for backing rising talent, sees what's happening. This is Parker's time. He's fully locked in physically, mentally, and emotionally. Unlike Dubois, who carries pressure like a burden, Parker looks energized. It shows in how he trains, speaks, and carries himself. No nerves, no distractions. In contrast, Dubois often appears caught between panic and pressure. Parker isn't chasing titles. He's restoring his name. And with every subtle nod from Eddie, it's clear the boxing world sees Dubois as unprepared for someone as composed and precise as Parker. Hearn didn't need to promise a win. His quiet confidence said enough. Everything is aligning, and Parker looks set to return to the top of the heavyweight scene.
And Joe Parker, this is the right time for him. It doesn't mean he's going to win, but I'll tell you what, he'll never get a better chance because mentally, physically, I think even spiritually, like you can see how happy he is in his preparation and in life at the moment, that this just might be the right time for him to become a two-time world heavyweight champion.
While Parker continues to rise, Dubois is still trying to recover, and even Frank Warren seems to recognize it. His tone sounds more like concern than promotion, and that says a lot. That loss wasn't just another bad night. It was the kind that can define a career. Dubois can bounce back, but only if he learns how to stay composed when under pressure. The defeat to Usyk wasn't just about being outboxed. It revealed gaps in heart, focus, and resilience. Frank's cautious words and hesitations make it clear that even Dubois' team senses he's shaken. You don't usually hear this kind of tone about future champions. Parker isn't someone who needs sympathy. He demands respect. Meanwhile, Dubois finds himself starting over, hoping another win can rewrite his narrative. But if Parker is next, it may be more than he can handle.
If he don't learn from it, then he won't come again. But it's up to him. You know, it was a tough night for him, a tough night. Is he okay, like, health-wise? He's obviously very, very disappointed. But in terms of, that was brutal, that knockout, Frank. Is he okay? No, he got up a 10. He weren't brutal, he weren't whole.
And the one who saw it coming all along? Joseph Parker. He predicted Dubois would fold and gave a calm, honest assessment after the Usyk fight. His analysis of that bout was sharp and precise, like watching a plan unfold exactly as expected. There was no shock, no sympathy, just clear insight. Usyk broke Dubois down step by step, and Parker wasn't surprised. He spoke like someone who's seen it before, someone who knows what happens when a fighter runs out of options. Dubois had a fast start, landed a few, but fell apart when the pressure turned. Parker respected Usyk's patience, but he also knows he has the tools to do something similar. With movement, timing, and toughness on his side, Parker won't just aim to win. He'll look to teach a lesson. When Dubois starts to hesitate, Parker will be ready. There's no panic in him, only control. And that's what makes him such a threat.
He broke him down, right? He broke him down, he was patient. Then Dubois did, for me, looked better. Like landed some good shots in the beginning, it was going back and forth. And he got Usyk's attention, but he was patient. Feints, movement, full.
Adam Smith voiced what many were already thinking. What was Dubois doing celebrating ahead of the biggest fight of his career? That wasn't confidence, it was denial. You don't prepare for a top-tier opponent like Usyk with distractions and social media energy. Preparation requires sacrifice, focus, and toughness. Qualities Dubois seemed to lack. It was a clear example of levels. Smith made it clear. The jump from contender to elite exposed Dubois completely. He wasn't prepared, physically, mentally, or emotionally. And perhaps most concerning, he didn't seem to realize how big the moment was. In contrast, Parker thrives in these situations. He sharpens his focus, increases intensity, and approaches fight week like a mission, not a celebration. That's the difference. And that's why this version of Dubois isn't equipped for the challenge Parker is about to bring.
The way that I think you should prepare for an undisputed heavyweight championship, I can't see how his mind, surely you want to give yourself the best possible chance. That said, he went out, he gave it his best, and he lost. He lost to the better man, and it was
Dave Coldwell points to something that could be Dubois' biggest weakness, pressure. And not just from opponents, but from the constant noise surrounding him. The support around Dubois may mean well, but it often adds more weight than help. He doesn't perform under that pressure. He crumbles beneath it. We saw it happen against Joyce and again with Usyk. When things get difficult in the ring, he struggles to adjust. fighters like Parker handle that same pressure differently. They channel it into focus. Parker's faced massive stages before, headlining against Joshua, going the distance with Chisora, taking on Ruiz and Zhang. No panic, no breakdown. That's the edge experience brings. Dubois still enters fights trying to prove he belongs. Parker walks in already knowing he does. Coldwell is pointing to a hard truth. Dubois may not be emotionally prepared for this level, and the sport doesn't show mercy to those who carry doubt into deep waters. If Parker senses hesitation, he won't wait. And Dubois could once again collapse under the very support that was meant to lift him.
It's there's pressure coming on more and more, even by people just saying, good luck, mate. You've got this, mate. You're going to smash him, mate. It's just a bit more pressure, a bit more tension, a bit more expectancy from them that's added on to the fighter. The fighter's going into the ring, not only wanting to win the fight for himself, but also feels the added pressure from.
In the aftermath, Dubois' team attempted to justify his choices, but ended up raising more questions than answers. Don Charles defended the pre-fight partying by saying it had worked in the past. But that was before the defeat to Usyk. Just because something worked once doesn't mean it's the right move when facing one of the sport's best. Calling it a smart strategy only made things worse. If a fighter needs a celebration to feel motivated before a major bout, it doesn't reflect the mindset of a champion. It reflects poor preparation. Parker's team, on the other hand, operates with discipline and focus. No distractions, no theatrics. Referencing the AJ fight doesn't help Dubois either. That was another loss. It highlights decision-making under pressure, not success. Don Charles came across like someone trying to reframe failure, but fans saw what really happened. The performance wasn't brilliant, it was a breakdown. Parker doesn't rely on hype. He relies on hard shots and sharp execution. And if Dubois' camp brings the same approach into a Parker fight, the consequences could be far worse than embarrassment.
This party at the house prior to getting to Wembley was against AJ, and it worked. So that's a genius move by the father, right?
No one criticized it when it worked.
So that's a genius move, right? No one criticized it because people were just fixing on the ring walk. Right? So that's a genius move because it worked.
Derek Chisora, known for speaking his mind, had a direct take on the situation. He made it clear, if you beat someone who isn't fully prepared, it's not a real win, it's deception. And that's the kind of energy now surrounding Dubois. From unclear injuries to questionable pre-fight behavior, his performances are increasingly clouded by doubt. Chisora isn't buying the excuses, and neither are the fans. You can't take a one-sided loss and then immediately call out another top name as if nothing happened. If you want a title shot, prove yourself against opponents at their best. If you want Parker, show that you can stay composed under pressure. Chisora's words land because they cut through the noise. Boxing is about responsibility. Dubois has had opportunities, and when they mattered, he fell short. Calling out contenders doesn't erase years of inconsistency. Parker isn't a stepping stone, he's a serious threat. And if Dubois brings the same preparation and mindset, he could end up worse off than he did against Usyk. This time, there won't be excuses to explain it away.
Motherfucker got sick. You can't fight a sick man.
Okay, you can't fight a sick man, but you can wait until that man gets well so you can get your title shot.
That man is not fighting him now.
This isn't just a grudge match, it's a reckoning. Daniel Dubois calling out Joseph Parker after being dominated by Usyk doesn't reflect confidence. It looks like desperation. It's the move of a fighter trying to rebuild his reputation after faltering under the spotlight. While Dubois speaks of unfinished business, Parker has stayed focused, calm, prepared, and sharp. For him, this isn't emotional. It's a professional mission. Reclaim his status, quiet the critics, and prove that experience, control, and skill still matter more than hype. A win for Parker could put him back in title conversations, maybe even another championship opportunity. If Dubois manages the upset, he resets the narrative, silences doubts, and finally adds a meaningful victory to his name. This fight isn't just about boxing. It's about pride, redemption, and legacy. The mental side will be as intense as the physical. Parker's been through it before. Dubois is still trying to prove he belongs. So, who handles the pressure better? Who rises when the spotlight burns hottest? Is Parker too seasoned and composed? Or is Dubois ready to fulfill the potential he's carried since the loss to Joyce? One way or another, this fight changes everything.